video is all about why we need to learn study skills. It's a question lots of students ask. Well, do you spend hours studying but never see an improvement in your marks? Do you struggle to concentrate? Is it hard for you to stay motivated and enthusiastic about study? Do you procrastinate? And if so, why? Is it fear? A bad case of FOMO? A lack of knowing where to start? Embarrassment? Maybe perfectionism? Do you struggle to remember information? Or maybe you can learn and memorise things, but you find it hard to recall the information or organise and express your ideas effectively in your exams. If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you could do with learning some more effective study skills. Lots of students hate studying and resent having to spend time doing it. But let's face it, when you're a student, studying is actually your job. It's something that you have to do. The reason most students hate studying is that they don't really know how to do it. So they spend loads of time poring over their books to achieve very little. So why not learn some tips to do it more effectively and less frequently? We'll help you study smarter rather than harder. Well, doesn't everyone know how to study? You might think that having been at school since the age of 5 or maybe even 4, that by the time you've nearly finished high school, you would have the skills of studying under control. Let's face it, if you'd played a sport for that amount of time, you'd probably be pretty proficient at it. The difference is that you've had coaches who teach you the skills and help you practice drills until you get really good at the game. Strangely, even though they often tell us that we need to do more study, not very many teachers actually teach us how to study. Now, before you go blaming your teachers for that, there are a number of reasons why it's difficult for them to teach you. Everyone learns slightly differently. We might have different or preferred learning styles. For example, some people can learn just by reading text, some need diagrams, and some need to actually do things. Through their teaching, your teachers will use and model all of these styles of learning. But the curriculum is so dense and there is so much content to get through that you're often left to decide for yourself which is the best method for you. Everyone learns at a different pace. On top of that, we all learn at a different pace. We need to be at the right stage of cognitive development for certain types of learning to be effective. And then we need to be in the right affective space as well. That is, we need to be at a stage where we are prepared to learn the skills and see a need to do so. Many of you probably happily declare that you were never taught how to learn your times tables or any grammar, but you were taught them. You just may not have been at a stage where you were ready and willing to learn them. Learning is an active process. Until you actually see the need to learn something and put in the effort to do so, it simply won't happen. Many people are able to coast through primary school and even the lower years of high school on their natural intelligence alone. Just by listening in class and reading over the work, they're able to achieve good marks in their tests. As a result, they never actually learn any good study techniques, as they don't really need to study. But by the time they hit year 11 and 12, and the work starts getting much harder and more specific, these students are stuck without the resources and know-how to deal with this new concept of study. By this stage, those who found the earlier years of school a little more difficult actually have a huge advantage. They have needed to spend more time learning and developing a toolbox of skills to cope with different situations. Suddenly, the students who have always been thought of as naturally gifted start to fall behind, and the workhorses start to overtake them, eventually getting the better results at the end of year 12. Because often, the students who achieve the best results aren't necessarily the smartest kids. They are the ones who know how to organise their time effectively so that they can easily learn, revise, and recall the information. the benefit of good study skills. Learning some specific study skills can save us time and energy and reduce the stress of Year 11 and 12, allowing us to really enjoy and participate in what is supposed to be the best days of our lives. Too many young people struggle through their final years of school, battling exhaustion, frustration, poor mental health, and a lack of direction. Good study habits can help you overcome all of these issues and allow you to get better results while doing less work. It's all about knowing how things work and the best ways of tackling your learning. Imagine you have just forked out a large amount of money to join a gym. When you get there, it's full of expensive equipment, much of which you don't even know how to work. Will you just jump in and give it a go, spending hours not really knowing how to do a decent workout and never really seeing any results? If you did, you'd soon become disheartened, announce that this was a lousy gym and give up. You might join another gym, but you'll soon have exactly the same problem there. Well, the same thing happens at school. You might be a very conscientious student and really want to do well, but you just don't really know how to do that. So you keep chipping away at the fairly ineffective methods that you've used throughout your schooling, and no matter how many hours you spend, your results will never improve. Until eventually you give up and often blame the system. But, as Einstein said, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Good study skills help us take back control of our lives. Good study skills include time management, goal setting, memorization techniques, stress management, and exam responses. Effective time management gives us back previously wasted hours in our day, allowing us to do more in a shorter amount of time. They help us improve the balance in our lives, ensuring that we also have time for other activities, a part-time job, a social life, and relaxation. Good study habits help us reduce the stress and panic of struggling to meet deadlines. They help us stop procrastinating and just get in and get things done. They help us stop cramming and doing all-nighters, allowing us to get more sleep, exercise, and to eat better. They help us really understand and remember the information, rather than just rote learning and writing it back for the exam and promptly forgetting it straight after. They help us convert the information into the forms we find easiest to understand and remember. For example, we might convert heavy text into mind maps, graphs, or diagrams. Putting information into our own words and style ensures that we understand it better. Information that we understand is much easier to remember and less likely to lead to plagiarism. They also help us to keep our nerves under control during the exams and teach us the best ways to understand and respond to exam questions so that all our learning doesn't go to waste. And good study habits won't just help us get better grades at school. They help us develop skills and strategies that we can use throughout our adult lives as well, reducing the stress and improving our success. So, why study hard when you can study smart? Thanks for watching. If you've got a comment or a question, feel free to leave it below and we'll get back to you. And remember to like and subscribe so you get notification of our next study tips. And look out for us on your social networks, and for more study help, head to our website.